progress report, and third is requirement that we are expecting from your side as a inputs. So sir, we'll go to next slide. So sorry, in objectives we have kept five main important objectives, of which sensing, protection, interface, performance, and diagnostics. So in sensing, there is a voltage, current. Voltage and current have two aspects. First is related to entire battery pack system, and the second is related to individual cells. So that is the requirement we are expecting from your side also. But as of now, we have fixed those requirements up to 48 volt and current capacity to be at 144 ampere hours. Other temperatures are relatively temperature, contactor control, as well as pre-charge resistors for surge protection, ground fault detection through insulation monitoring devices and all, and the thermal management through measuring temperature. And if we could see, if we could implement active as well as passive, I mean, we have to choose one of from them. And we also ensured the charging and discharging port for battery management system. The next parameter is protection. In that, we have ensured overcharge discharge through slave BMS ICs, as well as overcurrent and short circuit protection. So in interface, we have communication aspects. So regarding communication, there are three stages. First is communication between slave to slave BMS. Second stage is slave to master, and the third stage is master to general controller, which is outside the BMS. So we have selected protocols as per available norms, standard norms. Those are SPI and CAN bus. So we will explain further later in our schematic diagram. And the next parameter are data recordings and reportings for any fault detection or diagnostic purposes. And in performance, sir, we have SOC estimation as well as cell balancing, out of which SOC estimation carries a very large scope. Uh, I mean, in literal sense, it can be another project. So this is something we are aiming for the future of this project. I mean, to be more precisely, in this limited time span, we can't achieve everything. So, and the fifth parameter is diagnostic, in which we state of health, which is again a parameter to be considered for future use. And abuse detection is also a kind of thing which is important from safety purpose. So with this, sir, we will move to next slide here. Okay, right, sir. Here we can understand the scope of BMS more rightly. So, sir,
If I may ask a question.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, can we go back for the first slide? So all these dimensions we are looking from the designing point of view, or measurement point of view, assessment point of view, establishment point of view. What is that you're looking at?
Sir, all aspects are there. I mean, first, sensing parameter is from a designing point of view, and those interface and all uh, are something about related to establish. Sorry, I mean, basically, what I was trying to saying is those parameters we are trying to restrict in a given scope of our project. So take example, for example, voltage and current. So for measuring voltage and current, we need to be more dedicated towards slave BMS ICs, or rather selecting slave BMS ICs for those purpose with efficient communication speed, as well as cell balancing mechanisms. In that, again, cell balancing is active or passive. So that depends on our choice of design. So basically, these objectives are very vast, but we have tried to restrict ourselves within certain limits. And also, we are a little bit flexible right now because we don't have enough inputs from industry side also, sir. Hello, sir. Shall I continue? This is Vishal Amore. I am into this project under the guidance of Vishal Amore. Shall I?
Okay, okay, roll it a little bit, then we will get on to the same page.
Okay. Karo, next slide. Yeah, sir. Here I can explain you scope of entire BMS. So basically, sir, this is the scope available for us to aim, but that is not something we are doing right now. We have selected one module out of these two modules. The first module is smart module, and second module is intelligent module, which is basically uses extra microcontrollers for additional enhancement purposes like SOC estimation of small slave BMS units or and all. But sir, right now we are aiming for smart modules. So in smart modules, what happens? There is only application specific ICs as well as master slave. But in light intelligent modules, there is also extra microcontroller available individually on a specific slave EMS unit. So right now we are dealing with smart module in our objective. So in that, sir, as I said, here you can see current sensor as well as those slave BMS specifically available for measuring voltages as well as cell balancing mechanisms. And there is a sir, unit called insulation monitoring device. So that basically ensures that there is no fault in the circuit, or if there is any damages to the cells, it ensures that supply should be cut off, and it sends a respective signal to the master BMS. So master BMS further takes action for the entire vehicle system. So sir, with this we'll
If I may
sir,
ask,
if
if I may ask, I'm
yes
sorry
sir,
to be a devil's advocate, but do we know why we are doing what we are doing? Like why this smart module is there? Why this light intelligent module is there? Going back to the first slide. Uh, Again, my question is, are we, yeah, the next slide, yes. Are we looking at the communication part? Are we looking at data recording? Are we looking at charging, discharging, protection part? Are we looking at SOC? How can we jump to a decision about using intelligent or not intelligent models? I
yes.
know limited. I know limited, so I'm asking this.
Yes, sir. That is what I was trying to explain. Sir, what happens in light intelligent modules, these mentioned all design aspects are present, like SOC estimation as well as state of health, as it requires additional communication speed as well as efficiency of that microcontroller.
Are you sure? Sorry. Are you sure we understand what is SOC and how it is measured for a battery?
Sir, yes, actually, I'm sorry that I mentioned SOC for a light intelligent module because it is something which is going to be also in smart modules. But specifically, setting state of health is another parameter that we are going to include in those advanced modules, light intelligent modules. So state of
Again,
charge is
yeah.
yes, sir. State of
I'll
everything.
again ask this. Are we sure that we have learnt what is the state of charge for a battery?
Sir, yes, whatever we have found from the courses and online resource material, we have learned that state of charge is nothing but a total cell voltage in short, in layman language, uh,
Yeah.
with respect to its 48 volt threshold if set. I mean, if
Right.
we have set 48 volt equals to 100%,
Right.
so if battery goes to lower levels, so whatever the percentage change will be reflected in as a SOC.
And what all it will depend on?
Sorry, sir.
What all it will depend on? How many times it has got charge, discharge, number of cycles, right?
Uh, I
It
didn't
will
get your
depend on number of
questions.
cycles, right? Why should SOC change?
Sorry, SOC should change because load is going to take those current that much current. So SOC voltage is definitely according to going to change.
See, theoretical battery, whenever we assume that everything is, nothing will change. The ionization, or whatever is the internal process that you use for a composition of battery.
Yes,
Assuming
sir.
everything remains same, the SOC should be always 100%, right?
Ideally, sir. Right.
Right. So it reduces.
So yes, sir. It
Why?
reduces.
My question is why?
Sir, that part comes to battery because battery has also its limited life. So with time, it also gets degraded. So, sir, basically you are talking about state of health, not state of charge. So your doubt is pointing towards a state of health of battery. So for how
Okay,
much lifetime or
how do you define state of health?
So state of health is basically maximum capacity of a battery that can it deliver efficiently, so that in over a period of time, I mean after 1 year your battery, even if it's charged for 100%, which is state of charge,
Hmm.
but it will not last for 5 hours as it was earlier lasting before 1 year. So am I right, sir? I mean,
So the difference between SOC and SOH is?
so that's the basic difference, sir. I mean, state of health is a life of a battery over a period of time,
Okay.
and
And
the state of
SOC,
charge is a instantaneous voltage with respect to SOC is just a manipulated term in terms of calculation.
right, but it depends upon number of cycles that it has already undergone, right?
Yes, sir. For current, not for over a period of time.
And you define charging, discharging again by current, right?
Sorry, sir.
You define charging, discharging as a cycle again in
Yes,
terms of
sir.
current that you put in, right? For getting that kind of a charging.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my point that I'm trying to get to is that I'm happy that you've got to the basics, you learned the basics. But jumping to that design part is something that I myself got a little bit of, I needed to understand that, you got a hang of all those things. Then we can get to the design. So otherwise this becomes from intelligent to non-intelligent, it becomes something which is, uh, mm, it was not making sense for me. So I asked these questions. Thanks for
Okay.
clarifying.
Right, sir. No problem.
Yeah.
Sir, shall we go to next slide?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, sir. As I said, sir, here, Gaurav, last slide. This light intelligent module is what I was explaining for a advanced module. I mean, sir, if we take a general case, there can be BMS without state of health estimation. So state of health estimation is a parameter that adds value to your design. So that is not an essential part.
Sorry, can you, since you have done this study now, I understand that. For each line that you've made, each parameter that you said there, which is used for effectiveness of either the battery or control that BMS has to exercise, right? Each one,
Right, sir.
say voltage, you have temperature. Temperature could be outcome that you need to control. With temperature also, you would see SOC changing, uh, ambient temperature being different. You would see different behavior at same voltage and same maybe different current is achieved. What my point
Right,
is
sir.
that if you are able to say how to measure each of these parameter in couple of slides,
Okay.
you talk about simplistically that you use this kind of a voltmeter to measure it across the cells, then it becomes across the cells. If at all it is battery pack, then it is battery pack. If at all it is measured at, and as we progress, with high frequency and high currents that you will see, your measurement methodology also will change, and that is the key to success uh, for everything on board or off board of these kits that we are talking about. Are you getting
Right,
me?
sir. Yes, sir.
And in
So,
fact,
sir,
see, I'm coming to why you've defined what you've defined. See, intelligent model, I understand it might be a high frequency data acquisition. It could be where you to get it across different portions where you acquire different data and then translate it in frequency domain or something of that sort. That you can explain that. But why we are getting there is not getting answered till now.
so, sir, why we are getting there? I mean, why we are restricting ourselves to this module? Is it
No,
like
no,
that?
no, no, no. So I would say just go back to those elements that you have defined as parameters and have some slides on how would you measure discharge for that matter, state
Yes,
of
sir.
discharge.
Yes, sir. That is what going to come in next
Okay,
slide,
you
sir.
have
Few
slides on
more.
that. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes.
okay, let's roll them.
This is just, sir, objective that we have defined with the scope. I mean, to introduce with you all the aspects that are possible in any general BMS that is smart and intelligent. But sir, as of limited resources and whatever we have, we have selected smart module so that we can work within this limited time frame on some selected parameters.
Okay, but
Okay. Sir, in third slide, I will explain. So, sir, did you get that this smart module?
you're circling back. I did not get it actually. So I was looking at some other slides that you will show where I'll be clear on this.
Okay, sir. Okay. So, next slide, Gaurav. Sir, yeah. Sir, as this smart module I have defined, so there's, sir, those small units like master BMS was there, slave BMS was there, then communication part, which is interface between master, slave, and other controllers, if there are any in outside the BMS. And then, sir, there are drivers related to that, like precharge control, register, precharge. So what basically I was trying to say, we have divided entire this project into some small units. So here we will dedicatedly focus on each and every parameter. Like for example, in slave unit, we will focus on slave BMS ICs, which will measure individual cell voltage. Then this individual cell voltage will be summed up with all possible cells, I mean, connected across them. So if, for example, consider each cell has a 3.7 volt. So such 13 cells are connected in series, then we get a around 3.7 into 10, if 10 cell connected, 37 volt. So this 37 volt will be entirely managed by a small BMS unit, that such 10 small BMS units could exist to increase the current. So these current will be summed up in final output port that is going to be connected to the load. And sir, these slave BMS unit, which are small, will communicate with the main master BMS, which is going to monitor and
May I
going to
interject? May I interject? Have you guys already worked on BMS as a project before we started this project?
no, sir. Actually, I was just a domain head of electrical Baha team.
Okay.
So, but we have battery getting manufactured from a particular manufacturer. So we had very limited data available for that.
Yeah, why I'm asking is that I think you've accelerated to the level. What should be the so okay? One more. So Baha vehicle has got a battery management system. You
Yes, sir.
built.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where. Do you have that diagram of what all it does? Because you are building it on that premise that you have already built it, right, as a BMS.
Yes, sir. Actually, what happened, sir?
Uh,
During research, we have found many BMS already designed BMS.
uh,
So, like plus instruments we have. So we just researched through it through entire those research papers, and we come to conclusion. And we have also continuously shared it with our teachers, like Professor Ambore sir. And with this, we have evolved to entire idea of a BMS. So so total, we had got entire idea of BMS in this entire discussion with sir also. So sir, I will show you next schematic, which is specifically we have designed. Gaurav, please next slide. Here, sir. So sir, here I was what saying we have designed. So sir, this load is nothing but terminal across which we are going to connect a motor, or for particular say directly a controller.
you are not using load bank here.
Sorry, sir.
You are not using a load bank here or a registers here. How are you
So, sir,
loading this? Yeah.
no, sir. This is just a schematic. Here
Okay.
we can't show a load.
Mm.
So we have just mentioned a port there with two pins, which is going to be connected to a controller.
Mhm.
And then, sir, here is a precharge circuitry that was I was saying. We have also calculated that what should be the resistor, so that. But before that, we have considered a 48 volt and 110 ampere hour capacity. Sorry, 144 ampere hour capacity. So that is the basic input that we have got from your side initially. So according to that, we have made this pre-charge circuitry. Then these CFET and DFET units are to ensure that so that key, for example, sometimes it happens that you have connected a charger across that BMS and not or the battery, or and not a load I mean, there are two conditions. Either you connect a charger across load, or either you connect a load across that load terminal.
Hmm.
Okay. So, sir, and
But
that's,
the load will not come there, right? I mean, battery charger will be on the battery side, not on the load side.
sir, battery charger will be on the load side,
How?
because we have designed this circuit so that either you connect a load or either you connect a charger. I mean, in charging also we have to select whether we are doing off-board charging or on-board charging.
Okay. On the load side, have you considered regeneration? In the sense, whenever you are braking or accelerating,
Yes,
there will be some energy generated there.
right, sir.
Have you considered that getting used for charging the battery?
Sir, not regeneration parameter is not considered in design aspects, because, sir, we are just starting with this, so we thought we just pick one and one.
Okay, the
So
Baha vehicle that you have, it does not have a regeneration.
yes, sir.
Uh, okay, in Baha vehicle, what all parameters you have? You have measurement of temperature, you have measurement of current voltage, and what else?
So, sir, sir, in Baha we don't have any measurement, because, sir, that manufacturer, what he didn't made available as a communication port so that we could take out that data.
Mm.
But what we all have with that Baha battery is just this load terminal across which we connected a controller, and then we got a supply from there, and that's it, sir. Entire part was like a black box for us at that time.
Okay, so BMS was bought out as a black box.
Yes, sir.
So may I add something to it? So I'm Siddesh. I'm currently working with him. So the battery which we had working on our Baha vehicle consisted of BMS itself in the battery pack,
I understand.
and the only terminal which came out of the battery was the charging one and the connecting terminal. That's it. So the battery management system was inside the battery pack itself.
I understand. Yeah,
So it was inbuilt in it. Okay.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So one dimension I would like to get across right now, with the vehicle that you have with the BMS already loaded, what I would like to do is you run the vehicle in whatever maneuvers that we discuss in the Adams standard way, where they are also trying to baseline a reality to the vehicle that we have, right? So we are using different maneuvers there. What I would like to do is there is something called as road load data. Road load
Okay.
data is nothing but the current on y-axis and horizontal axis, x-axis being time axis. How much of current is getting drawn for what kind of a maneuver? Suppose we are moving the vehicle on the gravel road or a plain road with a 3 degree of gradient. What is
Okay.
the way that the current gets drawn, and that is the kind of way that you can put the load back on a battery or eventually on the driving motor to simulate that back. So that data is important to have. So I would say if we are able to get that the current drawn by the battery for that particular state of acceleration, deceleration, braking, moving in a constant velocity or turning, can we get that done?
Right. Yes, sir. Right. Actually, sir, we will go to first slides to explain this. Gaurav, please go to that scope of BMS slide. Scope of BMS, niche. One slide down, Gaurav. Yeah. Sir, here we have used current sensor. So that is, sir, Hall effect current sensor. That is, it doesn't have any physical contact.
Understand.
So what that current sensor do is that current sensor monitors the current flowing through that wire, even if the load is connected and it is in running condition. So, sir, that
Yeah.
sir, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
There is a lot of noise, sir. I can't hear him.
Oh, you have a lot of noise from my side?
Yes, I don't know actually. There is a lot of noise, but
Yes, I think background factory noises there, I think.
Is it better now?
yes, sir. Now better.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you were
sir,
talking about the
that
smart. Yeah.
so that current sensor is going to give data to that master BMS, and that master BMS have a CAN bus. That CAN bus is nothing but connected to your entire motor controller.
Mm.
So from that, we can take out that data and display on a dashboard, or if you want to even process that data to generate graphs, we can also do that, sir.
Yeah. So what my question is that with the current BMS that you have for the bar vehicle, is it possible to get the current versus time data?
No, sir. Actually, it doesn't have any communication port right now. That's why we are unable to get data, any kind of data.
It doesn't have any input output way.
Yes, sir. It doesn't have any terminal except that load wala. I mean, with two ends.
So it is like a black box where you don't know how it is really working to manage the battery.
Hello, sir.
Right,
Uh,
sir.
Sir, can we show you the battery? What does it look like?
Okay,
Just to have an idea.
sure.
Gaurav, do you have the pic of our battery?
Just checking.
Also, one question.
Mm.
Does the BMS have, I mean, in case you have a shared details, does it have any storage option for the data? As in, whenever the battery is running, vehicle is running, whatever data the BMS will be capturing, say voltage, current, temperature, whatever is the data that is recorded by the BMS, is it stored somewhere?
Yes, ma'am. There is a section called Master BMS in which we are going to equip it with possible memory, so that Master BMS selection is on our side. I mean, we can select any microcontroller available in market with enough sufficient EEPROM.
Okay.
So that is
So
the
in whenever
requirement
my
that we were expecting.
okay. So in case my battery is connected to the vehicle and it is not currently taking out the data. So as you mentioned, there's no port connected currently to it. Once the running is done or when the testing is done, then I can take out that data post facto kind of. Is that possible?
Ma'am, actually, I didn't get your entire question. So there
Uh,
was a lot of distortion, right?
So, so my question is, so if you are running the battery on the vehicle and at that moment you cannot take that data out as you haven't connected anything to the external BMS port, CAN port or OBD connector that is available.
No, ma'am. That is a design we were talking about in our BHA. But in this design right now, we are configuring an option with CAN BMS. So
So
we can take
Namrata,
out data.
Namrata, just to fill you in,
Huh.
there is a one variant of battery management system they have already for the Baha vehicle that they have, which is kind of a black
Right,
box.
right,
No,
right,
it
right.
doesn't have, apart from connecting the
Any port,
battery,
right.
no, it is nothing. And it is not intelligent also. Now, in the exercise
Hmm.
where they are studying and also trying to build, designing the BMS, they have considered all these dimensions that they were showing actually in the presentation.
Right. Okay.
Right? And they were
So
showing
my
about,
question was,
yeah.
does it store that data on the BMS
Yes, ma'am.
For the
itself?
new one, for the new one.
For the new one, yes, yes,
Yes.
not for the
Yes,
Baha.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Definitely
okay,
that will be.
okay, okay. Got it.
Yeah, we can continue the presentation. It's okay not to show the battery. We can continue the presentation. You can share the
Okay.
presentation.
Okay. Gaurav, please share the presentation.
But I must say that this is very insightful. I got a little bit out of sync because I was not knowing that context that you have already, worked with BMS, and that's where you are coming from. Smart module, intelligent module. So good. I think it's going good. Okay.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, sir, we will proceed with here, sir, best options for application specific ICs. So, sir, here what we have done is that the selection for slave BMS. I mean, we have considered 4 standard manufacturers like Analog Devices, Texas Instrument, Maxim, and ST. So, out of these 4 available manufacturers, we have options to select the slave BMS IC that have its own specifications. These specification will be explained to you by my colleague Siddesh Tiekar. Siddesh, please go ahead.
Okay, so sir, the application specific ICs are the ones who look after the parameters such as voltage of each and every cell in the battery pack. For example, if we have a cell in a battery pack, 48 cells, and these ICs are the ones who are able to monitor the cell voltage level and current level of a single cell as well. These cell voltages range from 0 to 5 volt depending upon the chemistry of the cell, whether it is a lithium iron phosphate cell or lithium nickel magnesium cobalt cell. Also, cell balancing is also a parameter which is also under the consideration of this application specific ICs. And the communication protocol, as my colleague Suraj explained, between the ICs. Before the master controller BMS, we have this slave BMS ICs which are connected in a series, and the communication between them is under the protocol of isolated SPI or I2C. Also, the maximum pack voltage a single IC can handle or monitor ranges from 50 volts to 93.5 volts, and the parameters, the remaining parameter, which is temperature, under which the ICs can work efficiently, ranges from minus 40 degrees Celsius to 125 degrees Celsius. So any questions over here, sir? Hello? Ma'am, sir, any questions?
No, I think we're good. So the three options you should know, Texas
Yeah,
Instruments.
so I have Sachin joining me. Okay. Hello. Right. So I'll fill him in. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So, Sachin, what we have gone through is where they have got for the existing vehicle, bar vehicle, where they are running it as an electric vehicle, they already got a BMS, which is a black box. Okay. It doesn't have anything on it. But beyond that, what they have done, maybe they can repeat a little bit as we see of what inputs are to be looked at for BMS to be operational. They have divided it into intelligent, semi-intelligent, and automated. Okay. And now they're talking about each dimensions of segmentation of it into various functions to be mapped to modules in BMS. So I think good amount of work has already gone with. So may I request a little bit of getting back a little bit and explaining those aspects of what is semi-intelligent and intelligent in that earlier slides, couple of slides.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Suraj, just go with the first slide and then again start with little
So
bit of objective.
yeah, one slide before, yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, here we can see we have considered these broad 5 parameters under which we have done further segmentation. Like in sensing, we have these mentioned parameter like voltage, current, temperature, and as well as contactor control, precharge circuit for surge management, as well as ground fault detection. On ground fault detection, we don't have any particular data as of now, but we'll on the path of research on that. And the thermal management, in that we have considered both the options, whether we can make it passively manageable and or actively manageable. In passive case, we don't have add anything to extra. We just going to use if air available or any other natural mechanisms possible. And in active mechanism, we can build a radiator type of thing in thermal management. So like that will be a tube which will pass through segments of those cell packages and will conduct a fluid inside it. So just like our normal radiator type of thing, but with some small design, I mean small tube and all. And insulation monitoring, we that is also going to be another large project, since it requires some more stability of voltage. And in what happens in our cases, there is no stability of voltage, since voltage continuously vary across load. I mean depending on how much load we have applied across it. So insulation monitoring is something needs to be very stable, so that it can intelligently manipulate that data, so that even if the voltage get less, it will detect automatically that yes, this is just a load connected across it and not a any short circuit in the circuit. And sir, in charging port, we have decided to make it a off-board charging. Off-board charging is specifically just to take out a battery and connect a charger across it, just like in our EVs we done it. So electric scooters and all. So answer in protection, we have overcharge protection, discharge protection as well, so that cells minimum cell voltage should not be exceeded. I mean, what happens in lithium ion cells, if we cross a minimum threshold of cell to be drawn, then also there is a problem with that cell. So we need to also ensure that discharge threshold as well as overcharge threshold, that so that it should not explode. And in overcurrent we can also use fuse and all. And also there is a slave BMS IC which can detect overcurrent. And in short circuit, this is just a protection aspect, another protection aspect. Interface, sir, in a interface we have communications will be done in three aspects. One is master to slave, second is slave to slave, and the third is master to any general controller outside of that BMS. So sir, that is something we are expecting from your side to further inputs on that, like which protocols we should select, whether SPI or CAN bus, private CAN bus, as in intelligent modules. And sir, in data recordings and reportings, as ma'am have already questioned about this. So data recordings are important, like what, or suppose there was a oversurge current, or consider a overheating condition, so that we have continuously drained our battery and now it has overheaten and crossed thresholds and it gets switched off. So now as it has switched off, we should have a time recorded in our BMS, as well as other conditions like how much voltage it was giving at that time, how much current it was giving at that time. So those data recordings will further help us to analyze diagnostic purposes. So that is just a scope of our project. We can further implement in that. So that is just a part of master BMS. We don't have extra circuitries to add. It is a part of a coding and reporting. So performance, in performance, SOC estimation and cell balancing. Cell balancing is a parameter which is essential and comes with a slave BMS itself. Mostly we are planning to use application specific ICs which work in standalone mode. They have their own codes to execute, and we just going to figure out their mechanisms to work, as we have listed below 4 standard manufacturers for that selection also. And sir, in SOC estimation, we are just, I already explained it to sir. And sir, SOC estimation is nothing but a state of charge of that battery at a particular threshold. I mean, for example, 48 volt can be equated to 100%. Then whatever will be the voltage drop of a battery, that will be equated to other percentages likewise. And
So,
sir, in
will it be like calculating at the time of charging also?
yes sir, yes.
Okay, so while discharging, maybe we can check how much current the battery is, I mean, the vehicle is getting from the battery, and accordingly we can find the SOC. But while discharging, if there is a regeneration and there is a recharging of the battery, so state of charge is like going to increase over there. So that algorithm is already with you, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, that algorithms are very, I mean, that can be also another project. I also explained there at it to sir, because the scope of this project itself is a very vast.
Right,
So,
right.
so we were just trying to explain all the possible parameters so that we can restrict further our design.
Okay.
That's it, sir. And sir, in diagnostic purpose, state of health, which is a value addition parameter in our project. So state of health will tell how much life period a battery can have, or how you should use a battery in, or in a what should be the economy. That's kind of economy thing. And abuse detection, it's like if someone trying to open a battery management system on its own or entire battery pack, and in that case we can also build an abuse detection system. So sir, in next slide we will explain the scope of BMS. Go on next slide. Yes.
Just a minute, with the last slide, can you go for it? Okay.
Okay, sir.
So in this slide, what I understand is like point number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. they are absolutely related to design and development of the BMS.
Right, sir.
Okay, you will be having a battery with I mean a battery cells, from where you are going to measure this voltage, current, temperature, then the controlling for the charging, discharging, and any fault detections and all those things. Whatever safety related things for the battery, you are going to get sense it with the help of BMS. Okay, and
Right,
you
sir.
will provide some interfaces to that BMS, which will enable us to get that information out of like on a PC or any data acquisition system, right?
Right, sir.
So, and once we get that all data on the data acquisition system, we can find out the performance of the battery by SOC estimation or cell balancing and state of health and all those things. So
Right,
like
sir.
you already have worked for this point number 4 and 5, or you are just checking or you are just designing for the point number 1, 2 and 3 for now?
Sir, for now, we are working on point number 1, 2, and 3. And sir,
Okay.
in fourth, we have cell balancing, which is already enabled in slave BMS. So cell balancing is an important parameter. We can't neglect it.
Hmm.
So, and that is, sir, that is not something we have to design. Actually, those application specific ICs,
Right,
they
right.
already come with that standalone mode
Okay.
coding.
So
So
can you tell me just one thing, like as you told with point number 1, you are going to measure the voltage, current, temperature, and all those things, right? So
right, sir.
whatever circuit you are developing, will it be like compatible to measure a cell level voltage or a complete battery pack level voltage?
Sir, we are designing for a complete battery pack voltage. I mean, with that is also applicable to small individual cell. Sir,
Okay.
shall I explain it in the next slide?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
will be
fine.
more clear to.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Gaurav, next slide. Here, sir, that was I was saying smart module. So here are small slave units, sir, and there is a communication interface in between them, ISO SPI, and there is also another communication interface in between slave and master. And the third communication interface is between master and further units, which will be like another controller available outside battery, which is going to control a load. And sir, what you are saying was, is we designing from the point of view entire battery pack? So yes, sir. Here you can see those small battery packs divided into small slave units. So one slave unit will particularly monitor 13 cells. So such 10 to 15 slave units will be there, which for current addition purpose.
Okay.
Okay. And sir, and that required circuitry like
The
precharge
current
resistor
sensor is
and
for whole battery, right?
yes, sir. That is Hall effect current sensor.
Okay. It is not a shunt. It is a Hall effect.
Yes, sir. Because sir, shunt there is a problem with.
So it
Actually,
is
we don't
not
have work.
shunt is not an isolated one. Hall effect will be isolated one.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That is fine.
Yes.
But tell me one thing. As you said that you will be having this slave level BMS also, which will get communicated to your master BMS. We can say, okay,
Right,
master
sir.
module. So do you have that algorithm for this slave BMS? That means, I mean, what things that slave BMS will actually control for the cell level control?
Yes, sir. We actually gone through process. So, sir, first of all, what we have done, we have searched for a particular slave BMS and how much parameters it can monitor. So we have found it can monitor individual cell voltage as well as the entire pack voltage. And sir, the next parameter they can monitor is temperature, as well as they also can do cell balancing on their own. And we don't have to program them, sir. They are already working in a standalone mode.
Okay.
Like there are standard manufacturers for that, like Analog Devices, Maxim, ST, and one another is there. We have searched for that
Texas.
with data sheets,
Okay.
and accordingly that we are reaching to our targets of this project.
Okay, no. So why I'm asking this, like, we are interacting with customers, okay, and we are getting some queries from them, like whenever we will be having this industrial project, so they will need to monitor the cell balancing also, okay, how the cell balancing is happening inside the batteries. So how do we can get that data out of the battery? So that is my question actually.
Yes, sir. Actually, that was the question we were also struggling with, because sir, what happens? Cell balancing is something that they had already programmed in their ICs.
Okay.
That is, I mean, they have already inbuilt codes that are monitoring thresholds through ADC,
Okay.
and we just have to set the thresholds for that.
Hmm.
So, sir, and what I mean, in short, we just have access to their EPROM. That's it, sir,
Mhm.
in one word. We
Okay.
just have access to EPROM, and from there we get a status register. So in status register, they have particular bits, like whether it has crossed a temperature range, whether it has done any sort of thing, and also, sir, they are also equipped with their self communication, that is daisy chain connections.
Okay.
So they are already in sync with themselves. We don't have extra additionally to do it, and neither they are allowing us to do that.
No, it is not required for us to do anything. But if we have to check if the battery cells are performing or they are like cell balancing is there, if we have to get that information out of the battery pack for testing, so we may need to establish communication with that say controller or something, whatever is there. Because
Right, sir.
Uh,
in the industry, what happens, like whenever there will be a production line and these batteries will get manufactured, so the customer will ask us to validate this complete battery, and the cell balancing is one of the parameter from their criteria for checking. Okay, so like as you said that whatever IC is there, which is actually controlling cell balancing inside the battery pack, it is doing their job. But when we have to validate or we have to justify these things to like an external world or to a report, we need to get that information out of that battery pack. So that's what my question is: it possible to like get that information out of this your BMS, whatever you are designing? Is it possible, or it's like it's embedded in their system only, or that IC only? It is limited to that IC only.
Yes, sir. I will, sir, explain your question in two aspects, sir. First is from resource point of view, and second is availability. So, as you are asking whether we can do it or not, sir, clearly it's a no, because we just have limited access to that IC. And if we want to get that cell balancing data, there should be an algorithm that is built by us, so
Okay.
that we can take out data from it.
Right, right.
So from limited resources that we have available for now, we can't do that, sir. I mean, we don't have to design at this level that IC or like that. So that
Okay.
so
can be a
like
part of a research.
I
so
understand. I understand.
so may I add something to it? So like for example, what Suraj wants to say is that the part of data acquisition is available. It can be done, but that totally depends upon the algorithm or the way we program the master BMS. Over here, we are totally focusing on the construction, the designing part, and the parameters which our BMS can look onto. And if you want to acquire the data from the master BMS, we'll have to create a separate algorithm and programs to acquire the data itself.
Exactly.
So it's a total, it's like another major part in itself.
No, I'm just trying to understand that if it is possible, like to get that kind of that level of information to like outer world, because see,
Yes,
like
sir. It is
still,
possible, sir. Yes. But in terms of resources, it is not feasible for now.
okay, okay, understood. Okay, fine. So go ahead.
Okay. So, sir, as of now, first starting with this project, we identified some design restrictions like voltage, current, environmental conditions like temperature and vibrations or EMI. Vibrations and EMI, that is something, sir, we need inputs from your side also. And we also not clear with what are the load conditions, or what is the peak power requirement from your side. So that is something we need from
Which
your
point
side.
you are explaining now? Point number?
Point number first, progress report.
Okay.
So,
Restrictions for design. Okay.
so what we are expecting from the side of industry is that, for example, we have considered that the maximum voltage which our battery can monitor is 48 volts and the current rating is 144 amp hour. Okay, fine. But the other parameters such as environmental conditions in which the battery would be tested, as well as the load. So how much amount of current surge or the amount of power which the load would uh, asked for at the particular moment of time in real time situations. So
So
we request that.
you will need a peak load value, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And you
Yes,
will
sir.
need
Yes,
like
sir.
temperature condition. So rather at this point, I would say like we can go for ambient temperature only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Later on, as per requirement, maybe we can design some chamber in the outer side of the battery where we can simulate that condition, say at 80 degrees and below like a 10 degrees or 20 degrees. That will be a second part. But for peak load, I can tell you that how much we can go for.
Okay. Okay, sir. In next part, sir.
So rather, what you can do, like as you told, you are having 48 volt of battery and 144 ampere is the current, right? Ampere hour current,
Right, sir.
right? So you just find out the power, like P is equal to V into I, and
V into I.
multiply it by 1.5 times. That will be your peak load.
Safety factor. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. We will take those considerations into account. And there's a sir. Next point is we have divided our entire project into small units, like as we have seen in the overview diagram. Like slave units are there, communication units are there. Then there is a master unit. Then there is a drivers. Drivers, those are specifically associated with master, like contactor control, precharge registers, and all. And then we come to a algorithms part, like SOC estimation and all. So that's the last part we were going to deal with. So as of now, sir, as we had limited input from your side also, so we just started with driver side. So
Okay.
that was the most flexible part, because you can any time manipulate calculations there. So that is a part of discrete components. That is why we have selected to work upon with initially. And sir, for cell selection, we have considered two options. So my colleague Vikrant will explain you right now.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, so basically there were many options for the cells that can be used in the battery, but as far as possible, we have compared the two types of cells, which are lithium iron phosphate and other is nickel, manganese, and cobalt, which is widely used in the automotive industries. So we have taken several factors on which we have compared these two cells. Uh,
Hello, sir. I guess Vikrant is not audible. I'll continue from here. So over here we have lithium iron phosphate cell, which is
Hello.
compared with lithium nickel. Okay. Vikrant, I'll continue for now if you want me to. Okay, so the second cell is lithium nickel magnesium cobalt. So over here we have considered the amount of maximum voltage a cell can sustain, their thermal ratings, and up to which voltage, up to what C ratings a cell can do its maximum efficiency. For lithium iron phosphate, the cell rating is C by 2, as well as for lithium nickel magnesium cobalt, it's C by 5. Even if we look at this comparison, lithium nickel magnesium cobalt cells are way more efficient for applications, but due to temperature conditions, they are highly unstable after a certain amount of time. After certain amount of temperature. For example, lithium ion cells consisting of iron phosphate are stable even at 60 to 70 degrees Celsius of ambient temperature, but the lithium nickel magnesium cobalt cells, after a certain temperature threshold for 50 degrees Celsius, the chemical reaction in itself, the number of protons which are discharged from cathode to anode has a drastic change in it. So that's the reason we have thought of trying to represent this in our battery management system as well, because the application specific ICs which we have considered have an option of multi-chemistry monitoring, so that any kind of chemistry of the cell composition can be monitored by themselves as well. But this is limited to the voltage. The maximum voltage for now, the application specific ICs from the manufacturers mentioned over there is 5 volts. Above 5 volts, these ICs are not applicable, sir. So any questions regarding the chemistry?
So no, that is fine. So what I understand from this is like along with the battery management system, you are like developing the battery pack also. Like you are choosing the battery cells by your own, and that the information you are going to get from the BMS to outer world. Is that correct?
No, no, sir. We were thinking of like we didn't know what kind of battery cells the battery pack which
Okay.
was provided from your side would consist of. We have selected the application specific ICs depending on the cell composition, the above mentioned composition.
But I mean, like these ICs, how they can get relate with these battery cells? I mean, if
Sir,
I'm having some batteries, okay, with some other chemical configuration, and which is giving me an output of say 3.2 to 3.6 volt with some ampere hour rating, so our BMS is going to get that information of voltage and current. So how that chemical chemistry is going to be in a picture for this designing?
yes, sir. As you mentioned, for uh, 3.2 to 5 volts, our application specific ICs can look up to it. That's not a problem. Any kind of chemistry, chemistry of a cell which is restricted below 5 volts will work. Not a problem. But for the nickel, for lithium, nickel, manganese, cobalt, after certain amount of temperature threshold, for example, as I mentioned earlier, 50 degrees Celsius, there's a drastic change in the cell voltage output and current output, which might harm our application specific ICs. That's the reason why we have asked for the cell composition which would be available from the industry side.
Okay, okay, understood. So, okay,
Up till 5 volt, any kind of cell composition can be monitored by our slave ICs. That's not an issue. Up to 5 volt, any kind of composition will do.
right, right. So that is good. I mean, in our case also, whatever battery pack we will be having, that cell voltages will be in a limit of 3.2 to 3.6 volt. So that BMS, whatever kit we are designing, will be compatible for that sensing of the battery.
Okay, okay, sir. Now moving on to the next point, the application specific ICs for the slave BMS. So as per your requirement, as mentioned, 3.6 volts. So the ICs we have, found in the manufacturers mentioned over there can monitor cell voltage up to 5 volts, 0 to 5 volts.
Okay.
And the cell balancing which is used between these ICs is passive cell balancing, and the communication protocol between slave to slave for for data acquisition, like you mentioned earlier, is between isolated SPI control or I2C, as well as UART is also a kind of communication protocols which analog devices ICs and Maxim ICs support for now. And the maximum pack voltage which these ICs are able to monitor ranges from 50 volts to 93.5 volts. And the temperature condition in which these ICs can work efficiently ranges from minus 40 degrees Celsius to 125 degrees Celsius maximum.
So this hardware config, that means that hardware, the ICs and other components are already identified, right?
Yes, sir. Means we have selected the manufacturers over here, and the parameters we have mentioned, like right now, the voltage ratings, the type of cell balancing, communication protocol, and temperature. What we need is you just have to suggest us that you can go with the analog devices IC and choose the IC. That's it. We just need you to select the ICs for us, or else if we have the freedom to select the manufacturer of IC, then we are good to go with it.
No, in that case, like I would say, like if you can select those ICs at this stage, that would be better. Because
okay, sir, not a problem.
anyways, we are going to get a battery pack from the customers for which we have to make the diagnosis. So hardware will be like our choice. In your case, it will be your choice.
Okay, sir, not a problem. We'll do.
Sir,
one more thing.
Sir, I had a doubt. I had a question to ask to you that regarding the thermal management system of the battery. Sir, do we have like a dedicated system for the thermal management, or we have to design on our own? Like there are several systems regarding the thermal management system, but right now companies really don't get into the thermal management thing because it's a quite tedious and complicated task.
Okay.
So do we have to really design one system for the BMS which we are making, or what is the situation?
No, the thing is like whatever battery packs from the customer we are finding is like there is no any internal thermal management is available with anyone's of battery pack. Okay, so we just need to check first whether it is really required, whether that battery cell level temperature is really going to high that much, that we need to find it out. But other thing is like we may need information from the customer or say the OEM, like whatever batteries they have designed, at particular temperature range from, we can say, as you told, minus 40 to 125 degrees, your cell components are working, circuit components are working. So it may be like the cell level, that cell may also work with this temperature range without any malfunctioning, or say without any drop in their current or their performance like that. So that we need to check. So thermal management, we will check whether it is really required to take into a picture for this design.
Okay, so that's not a problem. But thermal management is important. One of the important factors which should be considered while designing a management, because the maximum power output of the from the cells depends on the temperature at which, at which the cells are operating.
Right.
And based on the data which we have got from internet, we came to the conclusion that at approximately 22 degrees Celsius, between 22 and 25 degrees Celsius, the battery functions at its maximum output.
Fine.
So yeah, this
So
thing.
what we will do from our side also, we will check that if it is cell thermal management is really needed at this stage, and if it is really needed, then how we can go, that we can find it out later. But for now, with the ambient temperature, we can design the rest of the things.
Okay, sir, no problem.
Right, sir. Shall we move forward on this?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Fifth point is regarding task that we have completed. So as I mentioned, drivers parts, we are mostly done with it, but that is, sir, flexible, because if you vary the voltage and current requirements from your sides, we can also tweak the calculations and select the driver ICs according to that. So as of now, we have done with charging discharging part, as well as pre-charge resistors, contactor drivers, and interfaced with master. So optical isolation is also provided while driving these components through master BMS. And sir, as a way forward, we are currently pursuing the slave unit. So as I already mentioned, and my colleagues, uh, we are considering those 4 options for that, and we are studying all those data sheets regarding that, and configuring out each and every parameter, so that we should not miss any of the important aspects of the design. So sir, in next slide, my colleague Gaurav will explain you a schematic of drivers that are associated with master.
Okay.
So I would like to explain the schematic designed by us. So, sir, mainly there are 2 connectors in this schematic. This one for the battery pack, and the second one is for the load. And now the schematic consists of there is a pre-charge circuit in this which consists of 3 MOSFETs. One is charging FET, one is pre-charging, and the third one is discharge FET. All these 3 MOSFETs are driven by the current FET driver IC by Texas Instruments, and it also consists of 2 contactors. These 2 are the contactors. One is for the high side isolation and low side isolation, and rest there are optocoupler ICs which are required for the interfacing with microcontroller. So now, sir, I will explain the process and working of the circuit. So there are 2 processes. One is discharge and another is charging process. So first we will consider the discharging process. In discharging process, the current from the battery pack here will go to the charging FET. Current will go to the charging is bypassed to the charging FET, and in discharging process, this discharge FET is turned on by this driver IC, and current goes through this discharge FET and finally goes to the load. This is the charging process, and this is discharging process. And the second process is charging, in which we connect a charger to the load here. Current from this charger first goes to the this discharge. will be bypassed to this discharge FET, and it goes to here to precharge FET, which is turned on by this IC. And once a current will be limited to a nominal value because of this resistance present here, as initially surge current can damage the components. So when the current is reduced to a nominal value, this charging FET is turned on by this IC, and the current goes to battery pack. So in this way, this circuitry will work.
Sir, one
And
second. I would like to correct my colleague. Actually, he was explaining right now discharging process. Uh, Basically, sir, in discharging process, initially there are surge currents due to load because load is mostly of inductive nature. So that is why he just got confused in charging discharging process. So I just
yes,
wanted to correct that.
Okay.
so this is the complete circuit, sir, and this complete process so will be monitored by the master BMS IC. The master BMS IC is right now not present in this schematic, and so this is the working.
Can you explain this one more time? What you said about this charging and discharging, and also the driver's IC. Okay, so the driver's IC is getting control from your microcontroller. I mean,
Yes,
there
sir.
is a communication between this. So how this
Yes, sir.
charging and discharging to load and this pack, it is actually working with these MOSFETs.
Sir,
Sir,
shall I explain for
Suraj,
him?
Suraj,
For-
you explain. Suraj,
Okay.
explain.
Okay. Sir, there is a, as you can see, load and pack. Those are the important ends of our entire design.
Right.
So we will go process by process. So first process is, let's consider is a discharge. So discharge will originate from battery pack. So battery, if we trace the positive terminal of battery pack, it will directly go to the precharge resistor. And one other is CFET. So
Okay.
it goes to both. But initially what we do, initially we just make on precharge FET and not the CFET. So that that surge is calculated by us actually depending on RC circuit. Actually that C is present outside this circuit, which is basically in controller.
Okay.
Okay. And that so initially this surge current should take a T equals to RC time. So that manageable time is actually 5 times of that T. So for initial 5 times of that T time, we will keep on that pre-FET, pre-charge FET.
Right. Right.
And once that surge current get managed, then after that 5T time, we will turn off that pre-charge FET and will go through bypass that load or current to CFET. And then after DFET, DFET is also on at that time. So, and this contactor is for isolation. So that is also will be turned on through MIC microcontroller. That is a part of in overall algorithm basically, which will going to be executed through master BMS. This entire process is going to be monitored through master BMS and through this precharge, driver FET driver. And sir, we will, sir, did you get that charging process? Sorry, discharging
Discharging.
process?
Yes. So it's
Okay,
like
so-
a sequential operation which will get controlled by the your controller or master BMS, and the driver IC is actually controlling this MOSFET circuit.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
And how
Right,
much is
sir.
the maximum discharge current in that case?
Maximum discharge current, sir, as of now, we have considered 220 ampere.
220 amperes, but it would be like depends upon the battery pack, right?
Right, sir. That is what we need to consider now. I mean, battery pack
So
configuration is
you mean that
important.
design
basically.
is made for that 220 amperes of discharge?
Yes, sir. The selection of pre-charge FET, charge FET, or
So-
that resistor, all is done.
So why we have considered it is because while we were working on Baha, our battery was of 110 ampere.
Okay.
So considering the safety factor as twice,
Mhm.
we have managed it for 220 amperes. So if we get the voltage and current rating from your side, then we'll be able to clearly work on the design further as well, as the calculation are subjected to changes regarding on the voltage and the current input.
Understood. And
Okay.
how about the charging? I mean, the charging current.
144.
Right, sir. Sir, I will explain now charging process. So
Hmm.
your charger will have two terminals that will be connected across load.
Okay.
Now, sir, we will trace positive terminal of the charger. So positive terminal, if we trace, it will first come to a HSC, high side contactor. So
Hmm.
contactor will be turned on by master BMS.
Hmm.
Now, as we have established connection for high side, then next it will come to DFET. On sir DFET side, we will also start a DFET so that it will bypass that current. Then after it will come to precharge and CFET. But in this case, sir, precharge is off, so it will not take that path. So it will just take CFET path. So CFET will also be sequentially turned on, and that it will trace back itself to positive terminal of the battery.
Okay.
Okay. And sir, we are also monitoring entire load voltage. I mean, whatever might be the voltage connected, or the, if suppose let's take a case, we have connected a charger across a load. Now charger will show some voltage on that terminals. So if we trace this line connected through R4 resistor, Gaurav, please show through cursor.
Yes, yes, yes,
Sir.
sir.
So sir, here we can get that voltage present across that load.
Okay.
So uh, that will be detected by that MOSFET driver IC. So here is a pack pin. So this pack pin is
Yes,
internally connected to pack division pin right over there, 10 number pin niche. So up to through this pack division pin, there will be current limitation. I mean, current will be limited to a manageable value, like in milliamperes. And we have calculated, sir, this resistors values also, so that we can say. And after all, these voltage value will be forwarded back through this optical isolation to ADC of that master BMS, so that master BMS will come to know that okay, now charger is connected, and we should initiate the charging process. So so
Okay.
this way it will work, sir.
Mhm.
And rest of the parameters like charger enable, CP enable, discharge enable, precharge enable, PMON enable is a pin that I was demonstrating you right now, because PMON enable is that will monitor the charging process. So sequentially we are going to turn it on and off after iterations, loops. I mean, in loops we can check many times
Okay. And your
whether charger is connected or not.
your master BMS is already monitoring individual cell level voltage and current from your slave BMS, right?
Right, sir.
Yes, yes.
yes,
So ultimately, the charging and discharging of the complete battery pack is going to happen with this driver IC and your MOSFET circuit, whatever is shown over here.
Right, sir.
yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
So
one
it's
more,
like just a gateway. It's
right,
just a
right, understood.
gateway.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So just a question, like as you told, this driver IC and your MOSFET circuitry, whatever PCB will be there. So will it be possible to get this information on say PLC or something like other controllers, industrial
Definitely.
controllers?
Definitely, sir, because we are equipping our master BMS with CAN protocol. So from that further is your side. I
No,
mean, you
how is the
can
communication between your controller with this driver IC?
communication. So
Or
communication, yes, sir. There is ADC part available here.
okay, okay,
So that is not mentioned here. But sir, that pin I mentioned, that pack pin. So pack pin comes inside that driver, then comes out of it driver through pack division pin, then through these
yes,
resistors, that the current and voltages are managed to a desired level.
okay,
And then thereafter this pin is connected to a optical isolator. Here we can see, and this optical isolator will separate BMS, sorry, master BMS and that driver part, so that there should not be any harm. And
isolation.
these values will be taken as ADC values
Okay, okay,
by master BMS. So this is the part of communication in short.
okay, okay. So it's like a analog communication, we can say.
Right, sir. Analog
Yes, yes.
communication.
Okay, okay.
Anything new? Yeah.
Uh,
And how about the battery energy?
Sorry, sir.
I mean, how you SOC म्हणता ना तुम्ही? Battery state ना? State of SOC. तेच ना SOC स्टेट ऑफ चार्ज. So they already have त्याचं केलंय त्यांनी. Can you explain how you calculate SOC of the battery?
Sir, right now we don't have our own algorithm. Whatever we gathering from data, we are just trying to implement it. And as of now, we didn't have started work with SOC algorithms because
but what is the logic? If you have to get to the logic of how do you get to that value? Any
sir,
thoughts are there?
Yes, sir. SOC, it doesn't have any special logic. Basically, whatever the optimization part that will be done in master itself, because master is going to take all the data of voltages from the slave BMS, and whatever we access we have to the slave BMS is just a small memory part. So in that memory part there are voltages values stored. So it is upon us to how we access that values and confine it within that idea of algorithm. For example, 48 volt is equated to 100%. So for example, now my entire battery pack is giving 45 volt. So I already have a formula in master BMS that is calculating itself 48 volt with 100%. So now if we come to a 45 volt value, so master will take out that data from EEPROM of slave BMS. Now that 45 volt value is taken to master BMS, and master BMS will interpret it that, okay, with terms of this reference, we have come to a smaller SOC. For
75% state of charge.
Yeah, that is fine. But now from our side, like for development or literature, what we have studied, so like it will not be like only voltage dependent thing. There will be a current also in the picture, and there will be a time frame is also. So like if battery is getting drawn certain.
Let's mute everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, we are just muting everybody.
Sir, hello. Sir Ayush here. So from the electric market survey group.
Yeah.
So sir, what time will our presentation start? Like we are here from 12:30.
Yeah,
so
we are also here from 12:30. All the presentations have just no.
Yeah. So actually we have our lectures going on. So is it okay if we can?
What time is your lecture?
Sir, it's going on now. So is it okay if we continue parallelly?
Yeah, yeah, you can push on. I think we will finish this and then schedule yours later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, this has taken unprecedented time, but yeah, let's be better in the next time that we plan it. It's a good work, but it's good insight and good depth of work that has happened. You have any questions?
No, that is fine. So what we will do now, from our side, whatever information we got about the finding the SOC, so we already have that developed for the discharging mode. So while discharging, if charging is happening, in that case, that SOC is not getting calculated correctly for the battery. So we are also searching on that. What I'll do, maybe I'll share that information with you guys, that how we are finding the SOC of the battery at this state. And you can proceed from those things further, like how to find the SOC of the battery while charging and discharging, when both the things are happening together. I mean, not together, but when there will be a charging also. So how that SOC is going to get increased, and when there will be a discharging, how it is going to get decreased. So that we need to find out actually.
Okay, right, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sir, basically we just asking what should be the scope of our project. I mean, if practically considered the time frame of this 5 to 6 months, we can't achieve it all in a short. I mean,
right. So given so what do you require, if at all you have to specify that?
Gaurav, please mute yourself.
Gaurav, unmute, please.
Hello. Ha, sir. Okay. Will you please repeat your question?
Yeah, I'm just going to mute somebody. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So, see, we are definitely looking at BMS design, right? We want to have a BMS which is actually working for the set of battery test rig that we have. We have complete specification of the battery as such, as we say. Based on that, we definitely require a BMS. So let's phase it out. Can you come up? Maybe I'll have Sachin to come up with a phase manner approach, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, in which we will define that what should be achieved in the phase 1. What is that we need to achieve on phase 2, phase 3. And if we agree to the timelines of whatever we are going to build, let's start building on that. Is that fair way to look at it?
Yes, sir.
Right,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, sir, will do.
Or if you have any suggestion and you say that, okay, these are the things that we will do in 2 months, you put a timeline in place and we will work on that.
Okay, sir.
Let it happen both sides.
Okay. Shall I add something, sir? This is Vishal Ambore. I am guiding this group. Shall I add? Sir, actually, that's thing required from your side only. Where to stick and what is the scope? Because we are ready to work it, but some part is related with the time only. Time and something about related with the resources availability. So, if possible, whatever. Suraj, go with the next slide. Then only understand the pictures. Or Gaurav, go with. Go.
Yeah, one question that was there, that can you guys come over here and we can have a face-to-face discussion on this?
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. We are really interested to discuss with you also, because we have the few doubts. That is the next slide, sir. This is some inputs we are expecting, and if possible, me, Siddesh, and I think Gaurav or Vikrant is in Pune, sir. So we will definitely meet you regarding this.
Yeah. Scope we will decide, not a problem. The only concern I see is number of people and time, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we'll see that, what best we can do in the time that we have.
Yes, sir. Sir, one more thing, sir. I require the input from your side. Whatever did my student, will it going with the correct way, or other whether we would want to change the approach also, or whatever we are doing is the correct approach?
Yeah, that's a very humble question. I would say we would have not spent this much of time. So kudos to all of the students who have put time. In fact, in the beginning, I found it a little bit out of place or out of pace myself to have seen so much of a progress. So, with honesty, great job. Sachin, you want to say?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Whatever you have presented, it's absolutely in line with our development also. Rather, we can say that whatever researches you already have done, it will be like beneficial for both of us to make this development. So it is absolutely great information which you already have shown us.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir.
So what I would say that we are on the same page, and let's time and resource not be a constraint. If at all we want to get to the level, we want to make BMS of our own, right? That's the thing.
Okay, sir.
Let's do it. I think you've gone certain dimensions. You've gone a little bit far ahead. Let's get that under control, and let's get something that is realistically required as a scope, and let's get rolling as a team.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So just only one more question, sir. Just tell us, sir, your free time or your free schedule. So based on that, we will meet personally, depending upon your availability, and we will discuss further ahead.
Yeah, whom Sachin should be coordinating with whom? I think.
Actually, sir, Sachin, sir, this is a Vishal Ambore. I am guiding this project, and one more is a Suraj. So better way, I will give the numbers of both the Vishal Ambore and the one more is a Suraj also, so that we can communicate each other, and we will go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
sir.
share this presentation immediately on the group, which is pretty good.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. So up till now, whatever we